This podcast is about entrepreneurship, spirituality, and self-care. My name is Lourdes, and I am the host of the show. Thank you for listening today. And thank you for joining me again, and welcome back, friends. Now, if you've been writing with me for a while, you know Jason. You know his story. You've heard about his frustration, his loyalty, and his confusion. The way he shows up every single day and gives everything to work he genuinely loves inside a company that, quite honestly, doesn't deserve him, in my opinion. Well, Jason's back. And this time, it's something different. This time, he's not just venting. He's not just exhausted. This time, Jason is asking the question he's been too afraid to ask out loud. Is it time to go? I have been sitting with Jason's story for a while now, and I realize this episode needed to happen because what Jason is experiencing isn't just about a bad work situation. It's something that quietly affects so many of us. You love the work, but the company is methodically draining your life force. And you can't explain it to anyone because from the outside, everything looks fine. Today, we're going to go name it, okay? We're going to sit in it and we're going to give Jason and maybe you a real framework for figuring out what comes next. So let's get into it. Have you ever woken up on a Monday morning and thought, I love what I do, but I dread where I'm doing it? That tension between loving your craft and resenting your environment is one of the most quietest forms of suffering in the modern workplace. So in today's episodes, as you probably already know, we're going to get into something deeply human. The moment you realize the place you work is slowly draining you. Not your job, not your skills, but the company itself, its culture, its chaos, its soul, or the lack of one. So let me recap. Jason has been with this company for over a year. He landed there with high hopes. The work itself is genuinely interesting. He's good at it. He feels alive when he's actually doing the thing he was hired to do. But somewhere along the way, he started noticing things. Decisions made with no explanation. Leadership that says one thing and does another. Another culture of confusion where nobody seems to know who's responsible for what, where emails go unanswered, where priorities shift like sand, where the organization is, in fact, disorganization. And what Jason is starting to feel isn't just frustration. It's something deeper. It's that slow, creeping sense that this place is costing him something he just quite not name. His energy, his optimism, his fire. In spiritual terms, some people call it a drain of your life force. The Buddhist might call it suffering caused by misalignment. In plain terms, the job gives, but the company takes. And right now, the company's winning. And so Jason, and maybe you, is sitting with the central question. Should I stay or should I go? And I want to push back on that question for a second because I think it's actually the wrong place to start. So before you answer stay or go, you need to answer something else first. What am I actually staying for? And what am I actually leaving? Because here's the thing. People often confuse the work with the workplace. They think, if I leave, I'm abandoning something I'm good at. But that's not true. Your skills come with you. Your passion for the work goes with you. Your ability to get great things that doesn't belong to the company, well, those belong to you. What the company owns is the environment. Keep that in mind. It's the environment, it's the culture, it's the chaos, the values, or the lack of it. And when that environment stops being a vessel for your work and starts being a cage for your soul, that's a different conversation entirely. Jason loves the work, but the company is not aligned with his beliefs. Ethically, operationally, maybe even spiritually. And that misalignment, well, over time, working inside a system that contradicts your values is like trying to run a clean engine on dirty fuel. Eventually, something breaks down. Okay, so how do you actually make this call? Let me give you a framework, and I call it the three filters. Filter one, is this fixable? Ask yourself honestly, is what's wrong with the company something that could change? Are there signs of growth or of self awareness of people in leadership who want to do better? Or is it that their DNA is baked into the organization? And there's a difference between a company going through growing pains and a company that is fundamentally misaligned with human decency. One can improve, the other is just who they are. Filter two, what is the true cost? Not just financially, emotionally, physically. What is this situation costing you in sleep, in stress, in joy? Are you bringing the best version of yourself home? Or are you arriving depleted, nothing left for the people and things you love? Stress is not always a reason to leave. Challenge can be healthy, but chronic depletion, that slow leak of your life force, is a different animal. If you're running on empty month after month, the question isn't whether you can afford to leave, it's whether you can afford to stay. Filter number three, what does your body already know? This is the one people skip, and it's most important. When you imagine staying at this company for another year, not the work, but the company, how does your body respond? Does your chest tighten? Does something in you go quiet and heavy? Or do you feel something like relief, like hope, like possibility? And when you imagine leaving, truly walking away, finding a place that operates with integrity and clarity, how does that feel? Freedom, terror, or both? Your nervous system has been collecting data this whole time. It knows things your mind hasn't fully processed yet. Learn to listen to it. Now, I'm not here to tell Jason or you to quit tomorrow. Practical reality matters. Bills are real. Transitions take time. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is make a conscious choice to stay while you build your exit ramp. But here's what I want Jason to do before he makes that final decision. First, have the honest conversation, not an ultimatum, not an emotional explosion. A clear, calm conversation with leadership that names what isn't working. Sometimes people don't know what they're going to do. And sometimes having that conversation gives you the clearest possible answer because their response will tell you everything. However, sometimes there are decisions that need to be made regarding a conversation with leadership. If you know that leadership will not change because they are set in their own ways, there is no reason to talk to leadership about this. This will be a conversation in your own head and for you to meditate on and make that decision without having a conversation with leadership. Second, give yourself a deadline. Ambiguity is its own form of suffering. Say to yourself, I'll give this until a specific date. I'll try a specific thing. And if it hasn't changed by then, I'll know it's time. A deadline transforms a trap into a choice. Finally, start building the alternative now. Update your resume. Have the coffees. Let people in your network know you're open to conversations. Not because you're desperate, but because having options is the antidote to feeling trapped. You can't make a free choice if you believe you have no freedom. So here's what I know about Jason and what I believe about you. The fact that you're asking this question is itself a form of wisdom. The people who never ask, who just numb out, go through the motions, survive, they pay a different kind of price. You are awake to what's happening. That wakefulness is a gift, even when it is uncomfortable. Work is not just a transaction. We spend majority of our waking lives inside the context of our jobs. The energy of the place we work, its integrity, its clarity, its humanity, flows into us whether we notice it or not. You deserve a place that doesn't just use your skills. You deserve a place that's worthy of your full self. Jason, I'm rooting for you, dude. Whatever you decide, I hope you decide it from a place of clarity and not fear. From self-respect, not desperation. And from that deep knowledge that your life force is not a resource for a company to drain. It's sacred. Spend it wisely. So that's it for today. If this episode resonated with you, if you have a Jason story of your own, I'd love to hear from you. Share it, send me a message, or just sit with it for a while. Until next time, take care of your energy. It's the most valuable thing you have. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast, and please share this episode with your friends. Please subscribe, rate, and review this episode. Thanks for listening.